So count is when a value of an integer variable, when it is increased by 1, no matter what is the variable, maybe it is count is equal to count plus 1. So this plus 1 signifies that this is a count. All right. If it is plus 2 or anything else, then it is not a count. The count is always when it is plus 1. Then we have got sum. If a variable is added to another variable, if the value of a variable is added to another variable, all right, so this is sum. Then we have got total. Let's call this total. When a value of a variable is added with another variable. So this is, let's say, its total. Then we have got sum. Sum is when two different variables' values are added together and assigned to a variable. Now, if you could judge that these two variables are the same, and these two variables are the same, if a variable on the left side of assignment and the right side of the assignment is same and it is being added with 1, it is said to be a count. Now, if you could see over here, when a variable is added with another variable, means the previous value of a variable is added with another variable's value, but that value is unknown. It is not known. All right, unknown value. So if a variable is same on the left side of the assignment operator and on the right side of the assignment operator, but it is being added with another variable's value, it is said to be a total. Okay, so for having a total, it is necessary that variable on the left side of equal to sign is found on the right side of the equal to sign as well. Now, if the variables on the right side of the equal to sign are not as the variable on the left side of the equal to sign, then it is a simple sum operation. Okay, so maybe x is equal to n plus m. So x is being assigned the addition of n's value and m's value. A is being assigned the addition of c's value and c's value added with b's value. Okay, that is how it works. So this is called sum. So what is the difference between sum and total? Total is basically adding to an existing value of the variable. So whatever, let's say if A is 5 and B is 6, so A will be 5 plus 6, 11. All right. In this case, A will be 5 plus 6, 11. Over here, whatever the value of A, let's say A is 5, it will be added with 1 and that will become 6. So this adding 1 is called count. Now there might be a question, sir, what if it is not plus 1, ye kuch aur hai, this is plus 5. In that case, that is sum. In that case, let's say if it is A is equal to A plus 5, it is not plus 1, it is plus 5. Although on the left and the right side, these are equal, A is equal to A plus 5. So plus 5 does not make it a count. It will not make it a total. Some people do count it in the total, but total is when some value is being input and we don't know what value is, and then we add it to A. So in that case, that is total, but over here it's a constant. So let's don't consider it, this scenario is not there, but if this scenario appears, that would be sum. So anything which does not fulfill the criteria of count and total, so that will be under the umbrella of sum. Okay, and then we have got assignment. Assignment is whenever something on the right side, this could be anything. This could be a constant, this could be a variable, or this could be an equation. Anything on the right side which is being assigned to the left is assignment. All right. So this sum is also an assignment. This total is also an assignment. This counting is also an assignment. As I told you in the first lecture, that assignment is basically in computer science is from right to the left. Okay, so assignment is always from the right to the left. Okay, so that is assignment. And then we have got input. In few of the books and past paper questions, this word might be read. So whether it is read or input, it is same. In another variant of the syllabus, which is 0478, which is exactly the same, they use the word read. So they are interchangeably used, input and read. So I use input and in our paper in double two 10 zone 4 in paper 2 it is always input, so it really does not matter. So what is input? It is basically gathering data with the use of keyboard in a variable. So you might think like that someone has entered 5 and that 5 will be captured by the computer in variable x. Okay, so that 5 will be captured by this x. Okay, so whatever that you will input, maybe you may input name and you may input class, you may input age. So these are 3 different inputs. When someone enters name, then class, then age, they will go to the respective variables This one statement can also be written input name, input class, input age. These three inputs or this one, they are the same. All right, so they are the same. You may write it in one line with a comma in between variables, or you may write it in several lines. This is the same. And then output. In past paper question in other syllabus, this might be print. Whatever it is, they both are the same, and we use the word output. So we assume that whatever the value of the variable, it will be shown over the screen. That is called output. So if sometimes, let's say name is equal to Zafar. So if I write like output name, since the value of name is Zafar, it will be output to the screen. So that is something really simple, but they basically ask for it. So which one is total, which one is count, which one is sum, and all. So whenever the variable on the left side and the right side of the assignment are the same and it is with +1, it is count. It is with plus another variable, it is total. And if it is not same on the left and the right, but they are different variables, then it is said to be a sum. And then we have got assignment. Now, in pseudocode, sometimes you might see the assignment with an arrow. All right? With an arrow. So that is also fine. In pseudocodes, it is left pointing arrow symbol for the assignment. But if you use equal to sign, that would not have any trouble. All right, so that would not have any trouble. You can use equal to sign. And now the last thing, that is comparison. That is comparison. So whenever we use word if as in a condition, if A is equal to 5, so this is no more assignment. This is comparison. All right. So if equal to sign appears when equal to sign appears with if, it is said to be the comparison operator. So whenever equal to sign is used in a condition like with if, it is said to be a comparison. All right. So mind these things: count, total, sum, assignment, input, output, comparison. There are questions in the past papers, they will ask for the explanation. The term will be used, the statement will be used, and you will be asked whether it is a sum, it is a total, it is comparison, it is input, it is output, or assignment. All right. So count is assignment, total is assignment, sum is assignment. All right. So these are assignments. But if it is in comparison, it is not assignment because it is not being assigned, it is rather being checked if the value which is previously assigned is equal to 5 or not. So if it is not, it will not be assigned, it will only be compared. So comparison result might be true or false. All right, so that is how it works. Let's get back to what we were discussing yesterday. So we were doing format 1. Now this format 1 is basically I don't know what has happened to it. It is locked somehow. Anyways, uh, this format 1 is having 3 different variations with totaling. Totaling comes with average. All right, so those questions which are having average at the end, they will not be having counting or output with decision with them. So first let's solve all the questions with totaling and average. So mind it, when there is totaling, counting and output with decision will not be there, nor the percentage. Okay, so let's solve. So I hope that you remember format 1. Let's just solve all the questions. We solved this question yesterday. Let's solve further questions. So this is question with totaling because it is with average now. All right, so let's solve all the question with average in it. So let's take this question. Average. So it says the manufacturing cost of producing an item depends on its complexity. A company manufactures 3 different types of items with cost based on the following calculation. If it is item type 1, then item cost will be the part cost multiplied by 1.5. If it is item type 2, then item cost would be part cost multiplied by 2.5. If it is item 3, then item cost would be part cost multiplied by 5. So write an algorithm using pseudocode flowchart or otherwise. So pseudocode, we know what pseudocode is. Flowchart, we know that what flowchart it is. We will be discussing those flowcharts shortly. And then otherwise means if you like, you may use a language, a computer's language. All right, so which input type and parts cost? So as I told you that we will initialize later. So let's start from for. So for count for count is equal to 1 to n, and now n is highlighted over here. So this is what 1000. Okay, and then our format says what? Our format says input. So we will start input. Input what? Input item type and part cost. So input item type let's make it simple. Let's make it type. Comma parts cost. So let's make it cost. All right. Of each item, it means that it will go on for 1000 times. Type and cost. Output the cost of for each item. It means now we have to use the formula. Formula is based on the condition. If the type is 1, then item cost will be calculated this way. So now we will check if type is equal to 1, then item cost is equal to cost multiplied by 1.5 over here. And if type is equal to 2, then this is the type that we have entered, that what type it is, and then we entered part cost. Let's make it P cost so that there is less confusion. Then item cost is equal to P cost, means part cost multiplied by 2.5. And if third one is, if item type is 3, then item cost would be part cost multiplied by 5. If type is equal to 3, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 5. And if. Now this is called selection. And there are multiple ways writing this selection. It might be in a single line for every if to and if. So it might be like if type is equal to 1, then item cost is equal to part cost multiply 1.5. So if you are having only one statement and you are writing that statement in the same line as then there is no need of and if. Femina, I'm talking about it. Please behold and listen. Then if type is equal to 2, then item cost is equal to part cost multiply by 2.5. If type is equal to 3, then item cost is equal to part cost multiply by 5. This is another way. You can write it in just 3 lines instead of 9 lines. Ibrahim, wait. And thirdly, we can use case. Case of type. If it is 1, this colon is used as then. If it is 1, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 1.5. If it is 2, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 2.5. And if it is 3, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 5. And then we have to write AND case. So you have got these 3 ways doing it. Either this one, or this one. Now few of the students would like to have else if. In that case, we will be writing same lines like this. If type is equal to 1, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 1.5. Else, if type is equal to 2, then item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 2.5. Else, we have to indent. Else, type, sorry, else item cost is equal to part cost multiplied by 5. Then and if for this else, and then and if for this else. So this is the 4th way doing if. These all are called what? Selections. What do we call them? Selection. Use of conditions. So there are 4 ways doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4 are the same. 1 is equal to 2 is equal to 3 is equal to 4. There are no differences. Now, Umaima, you asked that, sir, आप prefer कौन सा करेंगे इन सब में से? तो भाई मैं prefer करता हूँ number 2 because that makes sense, that takes least space and that is more descriptive. No technical formation is actually it is more simple form. All right, so I always prefer 2 because it takes less space. So these are different selections. You use whatever you like. So you got the answer, Femina? Abdul Rauf Panwar. We are studying pseudocodes. So once that selection is done, then it says that output the item cost for each item. So now you have calculated output, which is the item cost. Now you have to output that. So you will output it. Output item cost. So whatever the item cost that is